Hello and welcome to another opportunity to attract the man of your dreams, and welcome to another opportunity to make this man fall deeply in love with you. In fact, so deep that he can't get out of it anymore. That's exactly what I wanted to say. He will be so deep underwater in the sea of love that he won't be able to get out of there anymore, which means he will only look at you. He won't look at other women. No, even if a supermodel walks past, even if every guy turns his head, he will look at you, look into your eyes and go, I love this woman. And that can be your reality. However, it can only be your reality if you do certain things and don't do other certain things. And that's what I want to share with you in this episode. And the first tip I have for you comes straight from my own relationship and the way me and my girlfriend interact with each other. And maybe it's a little bit too personal, that advice, but I think it truly works, and it also worked for a lot of my coaching clients. Be silly, joke around, laugh about his jokes, and tickle him until he can't breathe anymore. We adults, we are often so serious about everything, especially when it comes to relationships. We're afraid of how the other person perceives us, how the other person sees us, how the other person thinks about us, and we then turn into robots. And as a German, I can tell you, being a robot is not very attractive, because I had to unlearn being a robot because, well, I'm German and we are all robots by definition. So that's why it's important for you to let this playfulness out. The more you are yourself and the more you allow yourself to be the playful human being that you are, and we are all playful. Yes, some people might be a little bit more serious, but in most cases, and again, I can speak about that with confidence because I know it from my coaching clients, it's more often than not conditioning. Deep down, we are all children at heart. We just want to play, we want to have fun, we want to enjoy life. And if you give him this energy while you're with him, then there's no other way for him than to fall in love with you, because he will have so much fun with you, he will enjoy the time with you so much that he will fall in love with you. That's something that I can almost guarantee you, and for legal reasons I can't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee it. And take care of him when he is sick. This is also something that's very huge, especially no, not just especially, I wanted to say especially for high-value men, but I think for every man. But yes, of course, also for high-value men who are then stressed when they are sick because they can't work, they can't focus on their business. And that's something that I can now really guarantee you. And I actually had this experience with a woman years ago who I was started dating. And I had this weird feeling from the get-go. And I then got sick, nothing too bad, just a common cold. And she then complained to me that I was not fit enough or healthy enough to take her to that one restaurant she wanted to go. So in other words, I was lying in bed coughing my lungs out, and she was then complaining that I was not fulfilling my boyfriend duties. I think I don't have to tell you that from this moment on I decided that we should better go separate ways. If your man is sick and you do that, I can guarantee you he will leave you sooner or later. But if your man is sick and you bring him tea, you cook a soup for him, you take care of him, then I can guarantee you that in this moment, more than ever, because when a man is sick, he is at his most vulnerable, then he will fall in love with you and he will say, yes, this woman is a keeper. And I truly believe that this is even stronger in men than in women, because as my mom always says, when men are sick, then they are dying a horrible death. And when a woman has a cold, she says, well, it's not that bad. So yes, for men, this can be more extreme, this kind of reaction. So if you take care of him when he's sick, he will fall in love with you. And if he then also compliment the way he treats you, then he will treat you like that even more. And of course, you shouldn't compliment him when he, for example, emotionally abuses you. In this case, you should book a coaching session with me and get out of this relationship. But if you are starting to date a guy who brings you flowers, who takes care of you, who compliments you, who hugs you, who's affectionate, who's just an amazing, loving man, then you can compliment him for that and let him know that you appreciate that in him. And the more you appreciate that in him, the more he will be motivated to show that behavior. And the more he will show that behavior, the more you will fall in love with him and he will fall in love with you, and everybody is happy. And speaking of everybody is happy, you don't just want him to be in love with you, you also want him to be incredibly 100% devoted to you. Because if you make a man devoted to you, that's when he won't be able to resist you. That's when he won't even look at other women, and that's when he will only think about you. The moment he wakes up until the moment he falls asleep, and he might also be dreaming about you. And if you want to find out how you can make any man 100% devoted to you, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted and watch this beautiful explainer video where you find out more about the devotion system, which is a program that you can then invest in if you want to. It's a program that I recommend to each and every one of my coaching clients who want to make their man so devoted to them that they don't have to worry whether or not he cheats, whether or not he fantasizes about other women. All these problems will be a thing of the past. They will no longer be in your reality. And of course, you can also go to gethimkeephim.com/system or click on the second link in the description to read more about the devotion system and to simply read that letter and find out more about its power. And then what you can also do is to look into his eyes until his knees melt. That's also an amazing way how you can make a man fall deeply in love with you. If you simply hold eye contact, you smile at him with the most genuine, beautiful smile, and you do that more than once, you do it all the time. At some point, his knees will be so wobbly that he almost falls to the ground. And that's something that's actually really easy to do, and the eyes are the window to our soul. And by holding direct eye contact, you can make somebody fall in love. In fact, there's been scientific studies that prove that people developed feelings of love for strangers just by holding eye contact for about 2 minutes. And if that can happen with a stranger, then you can do the same with the guy that you're already dating or that you have a first date with. So remember, eye contact is important, and show loyalty by holding his hand a little bit tighter when another guy checks you out. This is a secret trick that I share with all of my coaching clients. And I have to give credit where credit is due. This tip comes straight from my wonderful, beautiful, amazing girlfriend. She actually told me that whenever she sees a guy checking her out, she immediately looks at me and holds my hand a little bit tighter. And in the beginning, I actually didn't know why she was doing that. I was just walking down the street with her, and suddenly I felt her grabbing my hand a little tighter. And I was like, yeah, what's up? Something wrong? And she was like, no, nothing. And at some point that happened over and over again, and I then asked her, why are you doing that? I mean, I like it, but I just want to know why. I'm curious. And she said that other guys were checking her out, and she did that instinctively to show I belong to you, to signal that to me, because she thought that me in my complete blindness that I would actually notice that. But I usually have a tunnel vision. I just think about where I want to go and I walk la 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 la, and everything that happens left and right, I don't even notice that. She thought I noticed that, and she wanted to communicate to me, no, I belong to you. And I thought it's a really romantic gesture. And if you do the same with a guy, and I know that again from some of my coaching clients, and by the way, if you want to find out more about the different coaching sessions I offer, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/coaching. I know that from some of my coaching clients who I shared this trick with, it works really, really well, especially if the guy then asks and you tell him, you know, I just want to show you that I'm your woman. I don't want to look at the other guys. I'm yours. In this moment, his heart will go boom, 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 boom. And then trade workplace gossip for encouraging, motivating, and inspiring conversations. There's nothing worse, and no matter if you're a man or a woman, there's nothing worse to come home to somebody or to open the door for somebody, and the first thing they do is, oh my god, you won't believe what happened at work today. You know, Stacy did this, and oh my god, and yada 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 yada. All this complaining and whining. Don't do that. In the same way, you also don't want him to do that. Instead, have conversations about him, about your future, about what you want to do in the future. Have inspiring conversations. Be inspiring. Then this man will fall in love with you. And speaking of that, if you paint a wonderful, beautiful picture of your future that you can experience together, and you put that picture in his mind, then he will fall in love with you. And what you can also do then, in the same sense, is to share your hopes, share your dreams, and do it by using the word we. We is one of the most powerful words if you want to make a man fall in love with you. Because when you use the word we, then you already see him as your partner, and he feels appreciated, he feels valued, and he feels like he belongs to you. And that's exactly what you want. And then hold him tight in these special moments. And yes, the special moment might happen in the bedroom, When you're both satisfied and completely exhausted, you then snuggle up to him, you hold him tight. A special moment can also be something romantic. You, for example, take a walk at the beach and you then look at the waves and you then hold him tight and you snuggle up to him. Or it can be, for example, you just had an amazing dinner at a restaurant and you then snuggle up to him and hold him tight on the way back to the car. These are all special moments when you want to be close to him. And the closer you are to him, and the more often you get close to him, and the more affection you show him, the more affection he will show you, and the faster he will fall in love with you. And that's how you can make a man fall deeply in love with you. And like I mentioned before, if you also want him to be devoted to you, you can click on the first link in the description to watch the explainer video, or you can click on the second link in the description to read about the devotion sequence. And I want to be 100% honest with you. If you either click on the first link or the second link in the description and you invest in the devotion system, I receive a commission for it, but I only recommend this program to you because I truly and wholeheartedly believe that it works. I know that it's effective from so many of my coaching clients. And of course, you can then decide for yourself if you want to invest in yourself by investing in this program. And if you invest in it with either the first or the second link in the description, you can then send a screenshot of your order receipt to sebastian@gethimkeeping.com, and I will then give you an exclusive coupon code for your very first coaching session with me. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.